Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. Good morning, good evening, good night, good day. Wherever you are, whenever you're seeing this, I hope you are good. Happy 2025, guys. I did this video at the end of 2024, but it is 2025, and I hope you guys are, feeling good. I hope that even if you're feeling the same, that, you feel good about that. And yeah, I want you guys to just take in how you're feeling in this new year and in this new season. Of course, I had to do a reading for you guys for the beginning of the new year. So this is a message for your new beginning. Now, this isn't necessarily about, 2025, because we know that the new year hasn't started yet. So this is about a message for your new beginning. How you can prepare for your new beginning, what you need to know for your new beginning, how you can get ready to step into these energies, and what past lessons that you need to know to prepare you for this new beginning. So if you guys are interested, check down below in the description box to get one of those readings and start your year off with a private message about how you can prepare for your new beginning. Today's video, we're going to be talking about what we need to do before spring starts, okay? Because we know that even though this is the start of a new calendar year, we are not yet in the new year, the new energetic year, the new spiritual year, which starts at the spring equinox, which is usually March 21st. So whenever spring begins, that is the natural new year. So we are still in winter. And in this winter season, we really want to make sure that we are being mindful and specific and intentional about finishing off this period of hibernation, of shedding our skin, of getting ready for this new thing that we're stepping into. So this is the final stretch. We kind of have like some polarizing energy because we're in the mode of celebration and spending money and traveling and, doing all of these things and these New Year resolutions and vision boards and all kinds of stuff when we're halfway through the shedding of, the old version of us. So I always think that it's good to hold off on, certain things. Now you can do whatever you want. You can do a vision board now and then do another one later down the line. And I'm definitely going to do a vision board for you guys about how you can make the most use out of your vision boards. But I think it's really, really good to give yourself grace in these last few months of winter. And also I think it's good to be mindful of where you want to be towards the spring, towards the summer. Be mindful of where you want to be. And do what you can to kind of set yourself up for that and prepare for that. I also think it's great that we just aren't being avoidant. I think it's the easiest thing to just try to distract yourself at the beginning of the year with goals. And I think that's really why there's such an emphasis around new stuff, because I think we're all struggling so much in winter like we're supposed to be. And because everybody's struggling and sad and wants to just get away from what they're dealing with, we just focus on manifesting, right? We focus on how we're going to fix all of our problems and all of our issues when we're supposed to be in the mode of fixing them right then and there. Like when you're in the war, that's not the time to be like, how am I going to win this war? That's the time to fight the war. So we're in a time of continuing to fight for ourselves and fight for who we want to be. This is definitely not the time to, kick your feet up and start writing notes about how you fought the war. You have not fought the war yet. You have not fought the war yet. So this is about how to figure out, what you need to prepare yourself for what you're stepping into. And you want to get yourself the victory that you deserve in this season. So deal with the problems, deal with the issues, deal with what's coming up, and don't be avoidant. Don't run from what you're feeling. If you end up crying a lot, if you end up cursing out a lot of people, if you end up having a lot of hard conversations, if you end up walking away from a lot of people, whatever you end up doing, let yourself do it. And sometimes it's good to just give yourself the freedom to feel. I think that especially if you've been stopping yourself from feeling anything for a while, sometimes it's good to let your emotions get the best of you for a little bit. Sometimes it's good to do that. Like if you're the type of person that, doesn't like to walk, you don't like to get active and but in order to save your life, you have to get active. Let's say you start walking, 10 miles a day, you overdo it a little bit and then you pull back. I'd rather you do that than sit on the couch and never do anything until it's too late. And that's what we do sometimes. And we end up just having the same year over and over and over and over again. So I would really challenge you to embrace weakness at the beginning of this year. Don't feel like you have to be strong. Don't feel like, oh, I'm letting this old stuff beat me up. What old stuff? Stuff from last week? The news that you heard 2 weeks ago, girl? Like there are certain things that we're just now starting to get over that we're ready to push to the back burner because we got the hat on and it's 2025, but we gonna lift that hat up at the end of the day, and it's still gonna be a lot of 2024 going on up here, or 1995 for some of us, however long we've been around here. It's gonna be a lot. So I think it's important to just deal with what you're dealing with, and whatever you think is weak, embrace that. Because that's probably what you need to feel. If you think crying is weak, if you think saying your emotions is weak, if you've been avoiding journaling because you know you're going to cry as soon as the pen hit the paper, this is your time to do it. I would say release. It's your time to release. It's your time to throw stuff away. It's your time to delete numbers, delete pictures. It's your time to, I don't want to say like size down or downsize, but it is your time to, it's your time to downsize. And in the last reading that I did, the last collective message for, the message that you need to hear, we need to be preparing spiritually and emotionally for what we're stepping into, not just physically. So we need to be thinking emotionally and spiritually about what we're feeling, what's not working, what skills do we need to pick up, what bad habits do we need to put down, what, spiritual muscle do we need to strengthen, what parts of us are not giving us what we need and they ain't never gonna give us what we need. How can we tap in to who we want to be and where we want to go in every space? It's going to be really, really important that we really look within and that we don't try to party away the things that we need to deal with. You're not done with 2021. You're not done with 2024. We're not. Because at the beginning of 2024, you were still dealing with 2023. Yikes. We're not done just because we're in a new calendar year. So don't treat yourself like you're done. Don't make yourself feel bad or judge yourself for still feeling emotional about stuff that happened last summer or last whatever. This is not the time to shame yourself or make yourself feel like you're doing too much or you just need to get over stuff. I feel like this is the time of the year when we bully ourselves the most. This is the time of the year when we are looking ourselves in the mirror like, I said I was going to do this. I said I was going to do this. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. And if you can, which you should be able to, work with the natural energy of your life, work with the natural energy of what's going on around us, work with the natural seasons. You can absolutely prepare to start, launch, do whatever you want to right now. At the beginning of the year, you can do your goals, you can do all of those things. But you want to make sure while you're doing that, you're being honest and mindful about what you're feeling as well. Because you're not going to feel like doing those things. You're going to have a lot of obstacles popping up for you. So when that happens, because it's supposed to, because you're still in the war zone, before you step into the victory, don't start to beat yourself up and make yourself feel like you're the problem. Don't blame yourself for the issues that you're going to face at the beginning of the year. How many beginnings of the year have you had? Clearly a few, because you're looking at this video. Okay, so don't beat yourself up for what every year was going to give you. You know what you're going to get at the beginning of every year. You know what it's going to be. Same thing. Okay, so make sure you're preparing yourself to welcome that in the best way possible. I would say take your goals slow and steady and easy. Make it easy for yourself and get to the root of what you want to gain from your goals. Don't just, look at one thing, get to the root of it. Like if you want to lose weight, but you really just want to lose weight because you want to love your body and love how you look in clothes and you think you need to lose weight to do that. While you're losing that weight, maybe you should start shopping at different stores, buying different stuff, going to the thrift, playing around, getting in some different people's closets, getting into different styles, trying different stuff on, playing with different textures and fabrics and cuts and all kinds of stuff. Because you can love your body and love how you look in clothes, no matter what size you are. Okay? You can love the people in your life, no matter who you meet. You don't have to move to a new city to get new people in your life. You can do that right now. You don't have to get your degree to feel like you're worthy and valuable. You can do that right now. You don't have to get married to feel like your relationship is going to give you security. You can find security in your relationship right now. So challenge yourself to really get to the root of what you want and why you want something. And I feel like I've talked about this probably in every, New Year's video, but we're still getting into it because it's still a good message. So figure out the root of those things and keep that stuff in mind and figure out other ways that you can do that, because there's a chance that you're already fighting towards those things in other areas of your life. There's a chance that you're looking and feeding for that in other spaces. So find ways that you can bring those things into your life outside of, always having to do something practical. The emotional and the spiritual is going to be just as important, because what happens is spring comes around and we tired, we broke, we disappointed. We broke because we waiting around for tax time. Okay. And then we run through our taxes and we looking crazy in the summertime. And then the Christmas time come around and we broke again, and then we going to be at 2026. You see how fast that went? Okay, so make sure that you are preparing yourself for when things ramp up. We always say that we don't want to miss the end of the year. I think I've done so good in terms of like seasonal depression. I usually feel like seasonal depression has me in a chokehold from October to February. I'll be out of commission. But I really feel like I've been able to just, I've done so much with the end of my year. I've gotten the most out of every day. Every day God has blessed me with, I've gotten everything out of those 24 hours. And that's what I challenge you guys to do. And I want to keep doing that. Challenge yourself to get the most out of every day, and to do whatever you can to think good thoughts, to have the conversations with yourself that you need to have, to remind yourself of where you're going and what you're doing and what you've achieved. Give yourself what you need. Have those conversations with yourself. Pour into yourself. Be the friend that you need. Be the support system that you need. And, never forget that you can rely on yourself and that you can always be there, for whatever you need, whenever that may come. So yeah, I think that it's important overall to just recognize the space that you're in and really, really be kind to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Also, don't push yourself to do certain things right now, because there might be a reason that you're afraid to make big decisions right now. There might be a reason that you're feeling pushback if you're really trying to do something big right now and you're having doubts. So don't force yourself to do anything. That's another thing that you shouldn't do. If it doesn't feel right, don't just blame it on, I'm just insecure. No. Sometimes that pushback that you're feeling right now at this time of the year is a protection. And honestly, anything that's for you is going to be for you. So if you feel called to maybe take a break or rearrange some things, or say, maybe let me think twice before I make this big decision. Don't just say, I'm just being crazy, or I'm just tripping. Don't do that. And I know sometimes we challenge ourselves to push past those fears, but right now, again, we are in winter, the dead of winter. This is the time to see what your fears have for you, because there's a reason that you're afraid. And this is the time to learn why you're afraid and knock that fear down so you're ready to go in spring. This is not the time to charge, directly into the fear while you're still scared shitless and don't even know the first step to take, This is definitely a space to research a lot about yourself, reflect on a lot, and observe how people are acting. This is a space where people cannot hide their true selves. In the cold and in the dark, we are all vulnerable. Everybody is vulnerable during this time of year. Everybody's thinking about what they don't have. Everybody's thinking about what they've lost. As much happiness and joy as people are experiencing, it's clouded with grief and loss and every weight and every burden that we're all feeling at the end of the year. It's the happiest time of the year, but it also is the most stressful. It's the most dangerous. The weather is at its worst in some areas. So it's really, really important to just be mindful of the conversations you're having with people, of how you're feeling about people, of the conversations you're having with yourself, because you may not be your best. You might not have the best control over your anger and your temper right now in this moment. We need to think about Sandy. On that episode of SpongeBob, when she was just coming out of hibernation and they tried to wake her up mid-hibernation, and she was all big from eating and going to sleep, and she had got woke up from that nap, and she was like, I know y'all lying waking me up mid-hibernation. That's basically how everybody is. Like, hey, imagine Sandy mid-hibernation putting on some lipstick and going to a holiday party. That's really what we all doing. We all need a break. We all really need to be inside for 3 months until spring comes. That's what we all need to be doing, but we're not. We're forced to continue to work and have conversations and be who we need to be in the public or whatever. But this is really a time to hibernate as much as possible, insulate as much as possible, and insulate yourself with love, with patience, with grace for yourself, with care for yourself, with compassion and kindness for yourself. This is not the time to abandon yourself or leave yourself hanging. So make sure that you are keeping yourself in mind at every turn. Make sure that you are remembering, why you're even doing the things that you're doing. Make sure you give yourself a lot of love and a lot of support in this next season, and just continue to remind yourself of how far you've come and how far you continue to go. So yes, this is definitely a time to, like I said, fill yourself up with great things, be mindful and take your time with where you're going, and observe, because this is the lessons and the knowledge and the wisdom that we're going to need to carry us throughout the rest of this year. And you guys know, I've been talking about 2025 for a minute. I'm sure most, spiritual practitioners have been. So this year is definitely going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. GOOD. It's going to be a good one. And it's going to be what everybody needs, and sometimes we don't like what we need. But this is why we should take this time to get ready for it, because it's on the way. So yes, guys, I hope you're feeling great about this new year. I am doing a message for the new year, for this new beginning. So if you're interested, you can check down below in the description box to get into it and step into how we can figure out what is coming for you in this new year. I'm going to be doing these readings for the rest of the week, so make sure you guys get into it. I hope that you guys are feeling great about this new beginning and you're ready to step into everything that God has in store for you. I love you guys. Have the greatest year ever. I can't wait to see everything that we do and that we achieve together. Check down below in the description to get sessions and book with me. As always, I love y'all and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys. Bless.